Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Bleach Chapter 593 review. Now, today, very calm, tired, perhaps somber, who knows? And I think this chapter review, I'm pretty sure it's going to be fairly quick, because when I did the live reaction, by the way, right here, my right, your left, I covered a lot of points. So, what I'm going to talk about mainly in this chapter is what Mairi is doing in Histugaya. And I don't know, so let me just hop right in. I don't know if it's like an illusion, per se, because we know that he's affecting Hitugaya's brain. We know that he is manipulating the part of the brain that dictates short-term memory, and how after a period of 10 loops, a person collapses on the ground. They lose balance. And for 30 seconds. So, whether or not he's actually hallucinating while he's fighting against Mairi, or he's actually fighting against Mairi, but like they kind of, because it's not like Mairi is manipulating the environment, he's only manipulating Histugaya. So, the comparison here, two things, obviously, would be Izanami from Naruto, and the Sinning Tree from Yu Yu Hakusho, and Kurama and Young Togoro. So, I suppose it is a hallucination of sorts. But then I would assume that like it's hallucination up until a certain degree. Like he's actually fighting against Mairi, but then he starts to hallucinate, and then in his mind like it rewinds, and then he goes back to stage one. And if he doesn't try and kill Mairi, then he can't escape it. Well, he can't escape it, period. And that's the thing that I failed to mention in the live reaction. What he's doing right now, Mairi, it's not like it's over, but more or less, it's just that there's a side effect of collapsing after 10 loops for 30 seconds. But my assumption was that after 10 loops, it would end. No, it's still going on. Unless Mairi himself can stop the effects of the drug, it's still going on. So, my assumption is that Histugaya may be just standing there, like Kabuto, like in Naruto. Like, he's standing there, and he doesn't really know what's going on. So, I suppose in the chapter, everything that's fake is going to be either some parts of the fight or the entirety of the fight. Meaning that, like, let's say Histugaya runs at Mairi for like a few seconds, he slashes it and he cuts, and then he just stops and thinks that it rewinded. Or maybe the entire thing is a hallucination, fake, and he's actually not moving at all. But when he falls down on the ground, that's probably him actually moving his real body, and then Mairi actually cut him. Now, whether or not the cut itself that Mairi gave him at the end of the chapter, whether or not that cut is real or not is yet to be decided. So, it's complicated to a certain degree, but it's not that complicated. Like, it's weird. Like, once you have the framework of what's going on, you have an idea of where it could possibly be going when it comes to his power, when it comes to the drug. But when did Mairi actually administer the drug? I have no idea. I would assume that Mairi administered the drug when Histugaya appeared, maybe? So then the question here is, if the drug was administered not when he mentioned it's for the sake of the Seirete, and more or less it was administered before then why is the drug activating now? And maybe because Mairi has like some type of button or some type of device where it activates when he presses the button, or maybe it activates when Mairi's being threatened, or proximity, I don't know. So that's also not explained in the chapter as well, but we're going to find out probably. And what I also liked in the chapter was the fact that you had someone like Mairi actually showcase, well, not showcase, but state that he is a captain for his technological intellect and prowess. Like that's what he, and science in general. That's why he's a captain, because he understands that from a combat standpoint, Histugaya, which I think is shocking because he's Histugaya, but Histugaya beats out Mairi, which again is just stunning to me, but it is what it is. And Histugaya does do a pretty, I mean, he does a lot of cool things in the chapter. He, at one point in time, once Mairi blows up his kneecap, he freezes over. Then he goes Bankai. He grabs Mairi's sword and freezes the sword. Mairi has to let go of the sword to avoid the ice. And then Histugaya comes down with the slash and cuts Mairi in half with like an icicle attack of some kind. So the point here is that even though he's clearly a better fighter, the intellect trumps his, I mean, almost like a Batman type of thing, where Mairi has like a plan of action against everyone who is a part of the Seirete. Like, no, seriously, like, that's what I'm assuming. Because he was able to not only put the device in his sword and deflect all of his attacks and the drug administered, that if that was like way back when in the past, oh yeah, then that's some like massive Batman type shit. Where like, I've been playing this shit out in case you go haywire, in case you go crazy. Like Batman Justice League. Like, I have a plan for everybody. So, again, Mairi, very impressive. Very impressive. So, which is shocking too, because Mairi is actually not one of my favorite captains among the Gote, but he still is interesting. He's fascinating as an overall character. And I suppose what may save Histugaya is Gazelle's interference. Because right now, Gazelle, she's just, or I should say he's just probably watching on as Histugaya either stands there or he moves for a few seconds and then stops, something like that. So Gazelle may interfere, and that may awaken Histugaya from this trance, from this hypnosis, from this illusion, this hallucination, whatever you want to call it. So, overall, the chapter, it's simple, it's straightforward, and it is a greater insight into the character of Mairi, and once again showing that he is one of the more sinister and messed up dudes in the series, though he's a good guy. So, I'm done. King Lightning, overall rating is going to be a good plus, and I will see you guys later. I know, kind of short, 7-8 minutes. That's not that short. So yeah, I think it's like normal standards for reviews when it comes to Bleach. Whatever. Moving on. So actually, no, I'm done. I'll see you guys later. Rate the video, comment, subscribe. Peace. Have a nice day.